Hi, welcome back to Yoga with Tim for a shortened down version of the back care sequence. So if you don't have a lot of time, but you'd like to get some basics in that will start to make your hips and your spine healthier to help to facilitate the healing of your back or your spine, this is a great sequence to do. So don't think about this like you're going to try to stretch the area. That's a common misconception. People think like, oh, if my back aches, I just need to find a stretch for that area. That's kind of like the logic of if you hit your thumb with the hammer and you're like, if I just hit it a little better, then it'll start to make it better. So whatever you did kind of like overstrained or over-pulled on the back. So now we want it to just stay kind of how it is, and we're going to try to strengthen around it to stretch the hips, and then we'll introduce a little bit of movement. But I don't want you to try to go for a deep stretch in that area, if that makes sense. So let's begin on the back. That's the best way to start to let things start to open up. Take Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. Another great thing that you can do for your back, if your back is in pain, is walk. One of the most common things that people are neglecting in this day and age is the practice of walking. And a 20 to 30 minute walk right before you do this sequence would be ideal. In fact, one of my yoga teachers who specialized in therapeutics would take in therapeutic students with serious back issues, and she would tell them that if they weren't willing to walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week, that nothing that she was doing would be able to facilitate the healing of their spine. So that's a very important practice to begin. Okay, so now that you've relaxed here on your back for a few moments, feel the pelvis start to open, the muscles in the back start to relax. Your arms are at your sides, so your chest, the weight of the chest and the shoulders, because poor posture is one of the things that really aggravates the back. So as you feel that all start to open up, the spine starts to unwind, then bring your knees together and take your feet the width of your mat. And we're going to do this little like windshield wiper movement with the legs to help to warm up the hips. So as you inhale, let your knees go over to the right and look to your left. And pause there for a moment. Then bring it back to center, knees up, and change sides, knees to the left as you look to your right. Back up, change sides. Back up, change sides. Good, then bring the knees back up. Take your arms straight up to the ceiling and interlock your hands. Come back into Baddha Konasana legs. Then slowly start to take your arms back halfway. But as your arms start to go back, I want you to be able to see this, so I'm just going to slide the fluffy dog out of the way. The rib cage is going to want to tip up with the arms, and one of the things that we want to do is strengthen the transverse abdominis to help to keep the lower back healthy and neutral. So as your arms go back, don't let this part of your rib cage tip up, and then see if you can let the arms fall back a little further to stretch the shoulders and the armpit chest. Then bring your arms back up and towards your hips, keeping your neck long with that, keeping its neutral curve, arms back up, and slowly let the arms start to stretch back again. Bring the arms back up and towards your hips. And then last one, take the arms back again, still keeping the bottom of the rib cage in that neutral position. Bring the arms back up. Then take your arms to your side, bring your knees close together. And as you exhale, start to flatten your lower back down into the mat, gently. And as you inhale, start to arch your lower back. As you exhale, flatten lower back. And notice how the chin wants to naturally tip away. Allow for that to happen. And as you inhale, arch the lower back. And notice how naturally the chin tips toward the chest. Let that happen so the neck gets the opposite curve. Then come back into neutral for your neck and your lower back, so they're not arched or flattened. And then maintaining that, just bring your right leg up into table, but pretend like I put quarters on your hip bones. Don't let the hip bones twist. And then slowly change legs. So this marching is to teach the transverse abdominis and to be able to hold the hips in this neutral position as you move your legs. Slowly change legs. Really important for the core to be able to hold the spine long and not let your hips twist when you do this. Change sides. Keep thinking like your spine is being elongated, like it's in traction. Okay, now set that foot down and take the arms up. We're going to integrate the arms and the legs moving without any movement in your ribs or in your spine. So bring your right leg up into table as your right arm goes back. And then back up. Change sides. Left leg up into table as the left arm goes back. Don't let any movement happen in your middle. And back to the starting position. Change sides. And change sides. Good, now as you hold in this position, stretch your right leg out along the floor. And press through your right heel as you turn the right thigh in so the knee points straight up. Keep the neck and the lower back smooth in their curves. Then change sides. So set the left foot down, bring the right knee up. And find the stretch here, reach back through the arm as you hold the right leg in tabletop. Stretch through your left thigh into your heel and keep the knee pointing straight up. Good job. Then slowly release that and roll over to your side. Press up onto your hands and your knees. Place the hands right underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And we'll come into CatCow. So whatever range of motion you do here shouldn't feel like it's aggravating the lower back at all. So start to tuck the pelvis and round through your back. And then as you inhale, start to arch your back. Be careful with this one, how much range of motion you do. Just make it real gentle, like it's pumping into the back instead of trying to jam yourself into a shape. Round your back, navel to spine. And then untuck the pelvis and like a wave rolling through the spine, start to roll the rest of the spine into an arch position. One more time, nice and smooth with your breath. Good, and then come into neutral, hold there. Now pretend like I put a cup of coffee on your sacrum. I don't want your hips to twist at all. Slowly stretch your right leg back along the floor. Press down through the big toe and start to lift the thigh without the hips twisting. Then stretch your left arm forward. Create space for the back of the neck. Roll the left outer shoulder down. Lower your hand in your knee and change sides. Try not to let the hips twist as you reach the left leg back and stretch the right arm forward. Now keep your belly pulled up so that your lower back stays long, like the traction feeling, like when you're on your back. Change sides. Simultaneously stretch the right leg and the left arm. Good. Change sides. Good, then lower the hand and the knee. And we're going to integrate a little twist depending on how this feels on your back. So bring your right hand behind your ear. And then as you inhale, start to turn your ribcage open. And as you exhale, bring your right elbow towards your left wrist. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, elbow to the wrist. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, elbow towards the inner arm. Inhale, open back up. And release, change sides. So just be careful with the range of motion with that one. Left hand behind your ear. Inhale, spin your navel up towards your shoulder as you open. Exhale, elbow down towards the wrist, towards the inner arm. Inhale to open up again. Exhale, elbow towards the inner arm. Inhale to open up again. Then set the hand down. Okay, child's pose. Start to stretch the hips back towards the heels. But in this variation of child's pose, I want you to press the hands down, keep the arms straight, and then stretch your spine long, like you're being pulled forward through the crown of your head as your hips go back. Then come back up on the hands and knees again. And again, slowly start to stretch back. Then this time, sit the hips all the way back onto the heels if you have enough range of motion. Good, then come back up onto your hands and your knees. All right, then to finish things off, let's lie down onto the back again. Take the arms straight out to your side. Then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Now for this one, we're gonna limit the range of motion by taking a block for your legs to go onto. So the block is going to go positioned to the side. You can use a book or a stack of books for this. Slowly let your legs go over to the left, but at the same time, imagine your right chest and your shoulder being smoothed open and stretched through your right hand as you do that. Then grow the spine long through the midline, elongate as you let the chest open. Then come back to center, uncross the legs, change sides. Left ankle over the knee, slowly let the legs start to go over. Open your left chest, shoulder through the reach of your arm. Keep spreading and feel the elongation of the spine. Good, then come back to center. Then change the cross of your legs. And start to bring your left knee towards the chest. This one's sometimes called thread the needle. Slide your right hand on the in between your legs to hold the back of the leg. Then flex your right foot like it's up against the wall. And start to let your right thigh release away from you as you bring the legs a bit closer. But before you try to bring the legs closer, I want you to imagine someone was stretching your hips away from your lower back, and then you're starting to make the spine long again, looking for the neutral spine feeling. Because the tendency is for the spine to want to crunch up as you bring the leg in, and we don't want to encourage that. We want to encourage the spine detangling and almost decompressing wherever it feels like it's starting to shrink onto itself, even if you can't stretch as deeply as you'd like. Good, then change the cross of the legs. Now, if you have more time and you start to get the sequence down pretty good, you can hold these finishing stretches a little bit longer, like 30 seconds to a minute, including the twist, this one, and the one we'll do next. Good. Then uncross your legs and gently bring your right leg towards your chest. You can bring the back of the leg towards the chest as you stretch your left leg out along the floor. Now, same action. Instead of yanking it way in deep and letting your butt tuck, you want to feel that the buttocks can drop down, the hips stretch out of your back as that leg comes in. You can even let the leg release into the hands a little to feel the hips stretch out of the back. Now really focus on the length of this extended leg. The left leg, reach through the heel, feel the spine long. Then change legs. Keep reaching through your right heel and roll the right thigh inward so that the knee is pointing straight up to the ceiling instead of turned out. Feel your chest relaxed, neck relaxed, jaw, shoulders relaxed. Then for Savasana, we'll do a little modified variation for the back. Set your feet down onto the floor with the knees bent. Take your arms out at the side with the palms facing up. Have the hands about a foot away from your hips. And your stuffed toy. Okay, so this bent leg variation of Shavasana is just a little bit better on the hips so that the hip flexors don't pull on the lower back as much. Relax here completely. Let your feet and your legs relax. Relax your hips, your abdomen. Let the chest muscles spread. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Let all the muscles completely relax. Then roll over to your side. And press yourself gently up to seated. All right. Thanks for joining us today. Namaste. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found a little bit of relief. Remember, it's not a one-time fix, that you should dedicate some time and energy to practicing this sequence more regularly. In addition to that, I just wanted to inform you about a product that I found really helpful for inflammation. So I really discourage the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Advil, ibuprofen. Not only are they pretty harmful for your gut, but they affect the healing of an injury that you're taking them for by not allowing the tissues to heal as fully as they could. So a great product that I found is just taking turmeric with black pepper. That's a great anti-inflammatory. And another one that helped with the shoulder injury that I had from skateboarding is called CBD oil. Now there's lots of great CBD oil companies out there, and there's a lot of information coming out about how this is a more holistic way to heal the body as opposed to taking anti-inflammatories. But one that was really kind to me and hooked me up with some product, and I found it to be one of the most transparent and one of the most effective ones out there. I'm going to put a link below to that company, and I think they're going to give you like a 20% off on it. And yeah, those guys are awesome. So, but there's lots of great companies out there. Check it out and find some information about it. But again, really just discourage the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. People take those like candy, and they're so bad for your body. So yeah, have a great day. I hope this brings you some relief, and we'll see you next time.